This radio show might make you cry, will probably make you angry, will most assuredly make you laugh, and is guaranteed to make you think. 3-6 Nation Radio, where no topic is too hot, no take is too cold, with Monica Livingston. 3-6 Nation Radio, in 3, 2, 1.
Woo! What's up? It is 3-6 Nation Radio Day. I am your host, Monica D. Livingston. Guess what, guys? Ivan isn't here, and I think that may be okay, because with all this gun stuff going on, I actually, now I'm thinking about it, I'm worried about Ivan. Have we heard from him at all, Jacob? Who knows? He might be at the White House. Yeah. You sure? Yeah, he's been texting and Facebook private messaging, and like I'm really worried about him. So I'm gonna go look for him after the show. Ivan, we miss you. Stay safe. There is hope. Don't get locked up, but if you do, I'll put some money on your commissary, okay? We miss you. We love you. Today, we have a packed show. We're not going to do a whole lot of news because we have 3 guests. I've got Jonathan Reif in the building. He is the author of Thomas Sweat, Inside the Mind of DC's Most Notorious Arsonist. Right here. This is going to be a very interesting interview, especially, well, I don't want to spoil it, but just you want to stay tuned for this. So Jonathan's a firefighter. This guy, this sicko that burnt down places for 20 years, ended up killing like 4 people also. We're going to get inside the mind of Thomas Sweat. And then Jonathan's going to tell us, I think there's a little twist on this where this dude, like, it developed this little crush on Jonathan, and so that was kind of weird, but I'm gonna let him tell you that. His wife is also here to make sure that shit doesn't happen here as well. So she rode with him. She said, "Look at here, enough is enough." Right? We also have Sterling McKinney in the building. He's a social media guru, so I'm very happy that he's here because I need all the social media help that I can get. 3-6 Nation does, I do personally, etc. We're going to talk about how he is helping people and transforming businesses to get more notice, more followers, and that in turn changes into revenue. So I'm excited to have him as well. And then my friend, my partner in crime with Positive Coaching Alliance, my friend JP, Jessica Perez, is going to join us, and she's going to talk about biohacking. And I didn't do a big prep for this because I really don't know anything about biohacking. She's been kind of in my ear about it a little bit, but she's going to tell us what it's about, and I'm going to figure it out. And if it's something that's going to make me look even prettier, I might start biohacking. So that's the show for you today. We're going to pay some bills real quick. We'll be right back. Thank you for joining us. Hit us up on all our social media outlets. Facebook, of course, is 3-6 Nation. Instagram is at 3_6_Nation. And Twitter, we're at 3-6 Nation. This is 3-6 Nation vodcast, radio, podcast, whatever you want to call it. I'm Monica Livingston. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Thought about launching a broadcasting career? Think you have what it takes to become a broadcasting professional? Learn the skills that will make people want to tune in. Join Monica Livingston, radio personality and owner of 3-6 Nation, for a career development workshop on what it takes to be a radio DJ, sportscaster, and news anchor. Find out how the former DC diva and owner of 3-6 Nation manages her own live internet radio show. Sign up for a workshop today where Monica doesn't just share broadcasting tools. She puts you on the air.
It's Sean Parker here, and whenever I want some good food in nice-sized portions, not bird-sized food, but big boy portions, I look no further than the Crystal City Sports Pub. Now, if you just stayed on the original first story of the restaurant, you'd be more than happy with the pool tables and the aforementioned good food, but then they went and added a grand second story with, check this out, 6 37-inch LCDs, 2 8-foot projection screen TVs, and a 10-foot projection screen TV, and as a cherry on the top, a state-of-the-art sound booth. They're open 365 days a year, and they are waiting for you. The Crystal City Sports Pub, 529 23rd Street South in Arlington, Virginia. Call them at 703-521-8215 or visit them on the web at ccsportspub.com. It's Sean.
Y'all see me slide? I went to the bathroom real quick. No, that's a lie. Okay, so I don't want to talk about anything heavy. I just really don't. Ivan did text me. I left all this time. I forgot that Ivan wasn't going to be here today. I didn't do our normal news because I wanted Ivan to have his time. Well, I knew it would be hard to control Ivan to not have his time. But he just sent me a text. He said, good luck, kill it. And he also said, I'm sorry I'm not there. But what the F is happening in our nation? Children taking to the streets, the president arming teachers, Black Panther being criticized because it's too accurate and gives Africans hope. I can't. Oh, and also I broke my foot. So that's from Ivan. Ivan, get better. That's God slowing you down so that you wouldn't run up to the White House. You only have one good leg. So no serious news. But I did want to say, did you guys hear Fergie sing the national anthem? That's a sexy, sexy rendition. And this is what I thought it sounded like. We have the picture, Jacob? You see this man's ears bleeding from Fergie. What in the entire hell was she thinking? Like, all of a sudden, she was like Jessica Rabbit meets Marilyn Monroe. It was terrible. Will.i.am, come on, man, get your girl. But she apologized. She said sorry, so we'll forgive Fergie, I guess. But I bet she won't never, I mean not never, ever be able to sing the national anthem again anywhere. Poor Fergie. Anyway, so let's get to our guests. Our guests are amazing today, so I want to spend the majority of our time talking to them. We're going to take a very quick 30-second break, and then when we come back, the guy sitting next to me will be Jonathan Reif. He's a firefighter, and we're going to get into his book, Thomas Sweat, Inside the Mind of DC's Most Notorious Arsonist. We'll be right back.
Come on, hustle. Get your head in the game. Come on.
Are you setting the right example for your kids?
Are you even trying? The ball's down there. What are you doing? You need to get some confidence.
Come on, hustle up, get up there.
Reviewing last year, ad revenue has declined 15%.
Come on, get your head on straight.
Before your child's next game, ask yourself, how would you like it if they copied your behavior?
There are many ways which we can improve.
That's for sure. You need to get some confidence.
Positive Coaching Alliance has valuable tips and tools to help our kids perform their best while keeping sports enjoyable for everyone. Their development zone is a great resource for parents like us. Positive Coaching Alliance, creating better athletes, better people. Learn more at positivecoach.org/Fox Sports.
Jonathan Reif, my friend, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Good. So I met Jonathan, it was 7 to 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe even more than that. We did a CPR class together for District of Columbia bus drivers. We had 600 bus drivers, and we did that. We knocked that out in a week. We had a good time. Made some good money after they finally paid us. But DC, we waited on it. But it was a fun time. And since then, we've kind of kept in contact on social media, which means Sterling would be very proud of me because we've been able to keep in contact via social media. And then the other day, I was on LinkedIn and I saw the book. And I reached out to you and I said, man, you got to come in and talk to me about this. This is about the DC's most notorious arson. His name is Thomas Sweat. That's how you pronounce that, right? And everybody wanted this dude. Everybody wanted to do a movie with him. Everybody wanted to get interviews. And you were the guy that was able to get into the prison. And for how many years did it take you to research and make this book with him?
Well, the whole project took 7 years.
Whoa.
We communicated on a daily basis for 3 years.
And how'd that start? He reached out to you? Is that
No,
what
I actually reached out to him.
Okay.
Because when I was hired as a firefighter with DC Fire Department, he was still active and on the loose, lighting fires throughout DC and PG, Montgomery, Northern Virginia, and there was a huge manhunt out for him.
Right.
They knew very little about him, so on and so forth. So I went to some of the fires that he had lit as a firefighter, And when they finally caught him and arrested him, they sentenced him to 2 consecutive life sentences.
Wow.
And he killed 4 people, lit thousands of fires that they know of. They don't even know an exact number. And several years went by, and his story never came out. So like 6 years went by, and I was thinking about it one day, about, all of this. And I did some research, and what I found out was that, movie producers and authors, big wigs, nothing like me, had attempted to get his story and were completely unsuccessful.
Wow. And so you reach out to him, and I think we know why. Do you have that picture? This is how Jonathan looks in that uniform.
Oh, boy. I was much skinnier then.
Right. So you reach out to him, and then you start meeting with him in prison. Tell me, this is really, I don't want to give all the book away, but this is an interesting story, but I also think that it's educational in a sense that what makes an arsonist tick? It's something that all firefighters could learn, and we need that information in order to catch them or to stop it if possible. To do this over and over and over again, what did he tell you? What was his motivation?
Well, he was one of the reasons that they were so difficult in catching him was most arsonists are somehow connected to the fire that they light, whether it's for insurance purposes or revenge. The places that he picked, he had no relation to those people.
Just random.
They were just random. Now, he had his reasons for lighting those particular houses on fire, but he had no connection with any of these people, which made it extremely difficult
to catch him.
Exactly,
because you don't see any pattern. You can't find. So he's just walking down the street, just
and he
firing up houses.
Right. And he didn't meet the typical profile of a serial arsonist.
Wow. How many years was he on the loose?
He started in 1978 in D.C., and when they arrested him, it was 2005, so 28 years.
28 years, and he's copped to 300 and some fires, right? But
he said there were thousands, but he forgot about a lot too,
It's like him just walking. He just, I forgot about that house I burned down. Damn, I forgot about that. I mean, just right. Is he? Did he want to hurt people, or was it just really about the blaze and watching the building? Burn, the 4 victims. Did he know that they were in the house or care? I guess is really what I'd like to know.
He said that his intentions were to never hurt anybody, but every building that he lit on fire, whether it was an apartment building or a house, it was always in the middle of the night, and they were always occupied. There was people living in them.
Right, so he wasn't going around burning down. I mean, there's a building across the street he could have burned down, right? So he wanted people to feel this loss, even though he didn't physically maybe want them to perish in the fire.
That's exactly right.
But there's something about that. So did you ever get freaked out? He sounds crazy as hell. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there.
He is. It was weird, listening to his stories. This sounds kind of difficult to probably understand, but in a weird way, you kind of feel bad for him, listening to his story. But in another way, you see how twisted he really is. So the nice part, with doing this project was knowing that he was locked up forever.
Right.
And he needs some serious help, which hopefully he does get, because of what would happen in the letters, he would start telling stories, and you would see him start to relive it in the letters, and he would get completely carried away.
Wow.
Like he was
excited about
still doing it. And he said in a few of the letters that he's glad he's locked up, because if he was to get out tomorrow, he would go right back to doing what he used to always do.
Now, how is he feeding that, right? Because it's an addiction, it's a sickness. What's he doing in prison that any kind of behavior, acting out behavior that has replaced, what he was able to do out here? Did he share that with you?
I don't think he's doing much at all.
He's
very limited,
Wow. And is he, he's in regular population?
Yeah, he's actually in regular population, yeah.
All right.
He's down in Florida in the Coleman Penitentiary.
So let's get to this part, right? It's an excellent book. Don't want to give out, I got 2 more questions for you. First, start with this. Tell me about him. What happened to him? Did, his childhood, without giving the whole thing away, because I want people to literally get this book, and you're going to tell them how to do that later. But walk me through, his personality, or his story, and what happened that made him want to do this.
Well, it was interesting because you would think from what he did that he had an extremely traumatic and troubled childhood.
Yeah.
And he didn't have a great childhood, but it wasn't what you would expect him to turn out to be. he said that his father was mean to him. He would call him a sissy. He witnessed a murder take place within his family.
Okay.
But it wasn't
right.
He wasn't physically abused. He wasn't sexually assaulted. It wasn't. It didn't add up to what he ended up.
Right. His
becoming.
level of trauma didn't make you go, "Oh, I get it." You're like,
it
what
never,
the heck? Still?
It never added up completely. I don't know.
Huh.
And I did he told me his entire life.
Right.
The book is not only is it into his head specifically, like what he was feeling and why he did what he did, but it was also it's like a biography.
Sure.
It goes through his entire life leading up from the day he's born, his first memories until he was locked up, and even there's a chapter where it talks about his life in prison now.
Could he recall when he lit his first fire? Like at what age, and what was, if you could use some adjectives, or if he told you this, what it felt like when that first fire happened?
Well, it was exhilarating for him. The first things that he did, because he grew up in North Carolina,
okay.
They would make forts in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And he said for some reason after every time they got done playing, he felt the need to light that fort on fire. Instead of just leaving it there and moving away, he would light them on fire.
So he was a kid.
Yeah, he's a small child, yeah.
Wow. So this runs deep with him. Like, all right, so then let's just go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. So he's gay.
Right.
You're coming to visit him. I guess no one else is. You wearing your uniform up there or what? Like you just in your regular this right here or what? What's going on? Like,
so his thing is he has a personal attraction to men in uniform.
Okay.
Whether it's people in the military, people that are police officers.
Okay, so not just firefighters.
No, it's not just firefighters. And that was one of the things that I noticed when I was doing the research when nobody was able to contact him, was that he was infatuated with men in uniform.
Gotcha.
So I remember it was April of 2011. I wrote him the first letter. It was the letter's in the book.
Mm-hmm.
It was one paragraph. Basically, all I said was, "I'm a firefighter. The behavior and the dynamics of fire really intrigues me," which I think you can understand since you're an arsonist.
Right.
I want to know, your whole story and write a book. What do you think? And I never thought I'd hear back from him because nobody else did. And it took a few days, and he called me, and
it's a collect call, right?
It was a collect call. I wasn't able to accept the phone call.
Okay.
Because I wasn't on his list of people to talk to.
Right. But you knew it had to be him.
Yeah, because I heard his voice.
You don't know anybody else in jail.
I heard his voice, right?
Who else you know in jail?
Exactly.
No, right?
And then I got a letter from him, and with all the forms, and it started this whole process, and So like I was saying before, to feedback on what you just said, he's not your typical serial arsonist. Your typical serial arsonist is usually a young, white, heterosexual male.
Mm-hmm.
He was at the time of his arrest, he was in his 50s, so he started at a younger age,
right,
like in his 30s, which isn't really young. But they arrested him. He was in his mid to late 50s. He was a black guy, which isn't typical, and he was a homosexual, which is not typical either.
Yeah.
Which is another reason they were having difficulties finding out who this guy was, because he broke the complete stereotype exactly of what you would anticipate.
Wow. And so he develops this crush on you. And so, like, does he open up about that? Or, like, how is that? For a heterosexual guy, you got to get the information. You've got this lunatic who likes to burn people's houses down. He's killed 4 people. And you need to be at least friendly with him to get the information. But yet, he wishes you would have that uniform on and get locked up with him. Like, how difficult was that?
I think it was easier for me than my wife felt about it. She didn't really personally agree with it much.
She knew you weren't going to run off to jail, though.
No, she knew that.
She shouldn't have been worried.
It was, for what happened was, for the longest time, it was a relationship where I was just getting information. But at some point in time, you're going to run out of things to say.
Right.
You're going to tell your whole story, and that's going to be the end of it. And that's essentially what happened. Everything started getting dried up. He started becoming very vague, and he basically twisted and turned it on his attraction towards me, which I touched on a little bit in the book.
Okay.
But that was kind of a difficult thing. Because, we had been talking for 3 years, but then towards the end, when his whole entire motives, it appeared to be...
Right. Shifted, kind of.
That it was just, focused towards me.
So then the book is completed. And what's that last conversation like? Does he have a copy of the book, or you're like, hey, I got everything I need, peace? Like,
well, I haven't talked to him in 5 years.
Okay.
Because we talked for 3 years. It took 2 years to write the book, and then 2 years to find a suitable publisher. So I haven't talked to him in 5 years. I still haven't decided yet if I'm going to send him a book.
Right.
I don't know. I'm still pondering back and forth that I think about on a daily basis.
I bet, because if he got, I feel like if he got the book, I mean, he would spend all day just like reading over it, and somehow in a weird, sick way, I feel like he'd be proud of it. And it's like, look at it as this accomplishment, and that's certainly not, you don't want to reward that behavior. But, it also would be interesting to see what he thought of the book, and maybe he would open up more, and there are other stories and other things that we don't know, and it might be a sequel. So it's super interesting. I'm going to finish it. Definitely going to finish it this weekend, but tell people how they can get in contact with you. They can find the book, all that kind of good stuff.
So if you want to get in contact with me, you can go directly to my website. It's Thomas Sweat, SWEATT book.com, thomassweatbook.com. If you want to buy a copy, you can go directly through my publisher, which is Mascot Books. You can also go on Amazon. You can go on Barnes & Noble. And you can go on Books A Million and purchase it directly through there.
Sweet. And how are book sales going?
They're going great. I have not talked to the publisher intentionally.
Right.
In about 2 weeks, because I want to set my expectations low.
Okay.
And see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, listen, and Jonathan will come out. He'll tell you the story. Get in contact with him. If you want him for a book signing, I'm telling you, this is super interesting. I think it's so unique that all these Hollywood bigwigs wanted this story, and you got it right here. So
nobody.
Yeah. Well, you're somebody. And I also want to just say thank you for the service that you do for our community. Just running into, I've never understood firefighters. The building is on fire, and you guys actually run into it.
Well, we're a little crazy too.
Yeah, that's just a little strange to me, right? It's like it doesn't compute with me. But I really thank you for your time. You and I need to talk off air about some CPR stuff that we can collaborate on. Thanks for being here. Get this book, people. Get the book. Reach out. Jonathan, thank you so much for being here with us. We'll be right back. The next guest that I have will be Sterling McKinney. It's 36 Nation Radio. We'll be right back.
I love how USAA gives me the peace of mind and the security just like the Marines did. At one point, I did change to a different company with car insurance, and I was not happy with the customer service. We have switched back over, and we feel like we're back home now.
The process through USAA is so effortless that you feel like you're a part of the family.
I love that I can pass a membership to my children and that they can be protected. We're the Williams family, and we're USAA members for life.
Call USAA today to talk about your insurance needs.
If you can play, you can play.
If you can play,
you can play.
If you can play, you can play.
We are all
champions.
We are all
Red Hawks.
Red Hawk
For life.
Our staff, coaches, and student athletes welcome students of all races, religions, genders, sexual orientation, and national origin. We advocate and support the LGBTQ community.
We play
together.
We win together.
If you can play,
you can play.
At Montclair State University, if you can play, you can play.
If you can play, you can play.
If you can play, you can play.
It's about winning in life.
I love how USAA gives me the peace of mind and the security just like the Marines did. At one point, I did change to a different company with car insurance, and I was not happy with the customer service. We have switched back over, and we feel like we're back home now.
The process through USAA is so effortless that you feel like you're a part of the family.
I love that I can pass a membership to my children and that they can be protected. We're the Williams.
It's about respect. Respect for our teammates, respect for our fans, and respect for our game.
It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. On this team, we're a family.
Racist, sexist, and homophobic language have no place on our team.
We pledge to make our locker room a safe place for everyone.
No matter your race, religion, or whether you are straight or gay, If you can play, you can play.
I am joined now by the social media digital marketing expert, Sterling McKinley. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I just have one thing I want to say to Jonathan. I wanted to, before he left you, that story was incredible, wasn't it?
It was.
We were just talking off air that it wasn't a big thing. Sterling said he didn't even know about it. I remember, hearing something about it, but then it did die down. And Jonathan just told us the reason that it was exactly during the same time that the sniper was on the loose. And so we were too busy zigzagging to be talking about some fires that had already happened. Right. But the one thing I wanted to remind Jonathan of is do not put all homosexuals in this Thomas Sweat box right here now, okay? Right? We don't be burning down and we don't just hit on anybody, okay? So don't that's Thomas's issues, okay? Don't put us in a box, okay? So sorry about that, but I wanted to get that out there to our listeners. Sterling. So, thanks for coming on the show, man. You looking sharp. You looking sharp.
Thank you. I try.
Hey, a little something. I see you. Digital marketing, like that is its own thing now, right? It's like back in the day, if you had a website, you were doing something.
Yeah,
now, it seems like you really don't even need a website if you have a very strong social media presence. Is that a correct assumption?
Partly, yeah. So, things are changing so much now that, the way that your customer can find you is so different. It used to be your website was the first thing. Now it can be through YouTube, it can be through Facebook, through Instagram. So a lot of times that social media presence is the first interaction your client has with your business.
Right.
So you want it to be a good interaction that's, interactive, engaging, and tells a good story.
So I got your book.
Yes.
It's a social media guide. It's about 100-something pages?
120 pages.
120 pages of fantastic information. But for someone like myself, right, my issue is implementation of that, right? I feel like social media, for me, I'm not real savvy at it. I know that in order to grow, any business, this is my second business. I also have a Metropolitan CPR Training Academy, which is a CPR and first aid training business, that you have to have a social media presence, right? If you don't have one, you're literally just might as well like flushing money down the toilet, right? Yeah. But for someone like me that I don't want to sit around, I can't decide content a lot of times. Right. I'm not sure if people care what I had to eat for breakfast. I don't get it. Right. I don't know if they even care what I'm doing and where I am. Yeah. What is a solution for a person like myself? I love the guide. Got the guide, but the implementation part, what do people like me need to do?
Yeah, well, there's some parts of the workbook that really help you with that. And I found that a lot of people, they want to do social media. They want to be on Instagram and Facebook. And they do what I call social media overload. They try to be on every network and post every day, and that's too much. So what I say is, find the 2 to 3 networks to work for your business and be on those, post on those. And, you can look at your competition and see what they're posting to get an idea of what kind of things, what kind of formats, whether that's video, audio, images, you should post.
Right. Now, tell us a little bit about yourself. You went to Morgan State University.
Yes.
Okay. So, and you grew up in this area originally?
Yes, I did.
All right. Tell us your story. You got kids, wife. What's going on with you?
The whole story. So I started my business while I was in college, actually.
Oh, okay.
So this was around 2000 when, there was that big kind of tech bubble burst, I guess. And, I could see back then that, digital marketing and social media was going to be the future, that this thing was going to be big. So at that time I was in college. I was a marketing major. Okay. And marketing was, very hectic, a lot of classes, a lot of math classes. And I said, okay, this is great, but I need some more flexibility. So,
I was a marketing major for one semester also. That was the end of that.
So I switched to doing communications. And, that was great too. I did learn about communications, but also it gave me the free time to start my business. So started out designing websites for, small companies, for family, friends, churches, and throughout college, I gained more and more experience. And, now today, I work with companies of all sizes. I coach, teach, and train social media and digital marketing. So it's been definitely a gradual process. And like you said, when it started out, it was just websites.
Right.
Then Facebook came along, then Instagram and video and YouTube and all these things. So it's one of those things where it's always growing and always changing.
Now, let me ask you this. What should a small business prepare to spend on social media marketing in their budget, in a budget line? What is a good number? 'Cause I've heard some crazy things. I mean, I was like, this for what? What you coming to the house? I just want you to post some stuff, like not move in. I didn't know what they were talking about, but talk to me about what we should include in our budget.
Yeah, well, pricing can really vary depending on who you talk to, but the first thing to come up with a plan. What do you want to do and what do you want to achieve? Once you have those goals in mind, then the budget and how much services you need kind of fall in place.
Okay.
So once you do that, it really helps. So it really varies. If you're trying to post every day, it's going to cost more. If you're posting 5 times a day, it's going to cost more. So really having a plan in place is going to help with that. One thing I will say is a lot of companies think social media is free, that you can just post a picture, it'll go viral, and you'll sell out your T-shirts or your book in an hour. And it doesn't work that way. So one thing that the companies want to do is start paying for social media. So now you can promote your posts, your tweets.
Right.
And that way, your message is going to be seen by more people. Social media started out this kind of free organic thing, but now companies realize that, hey, this thing is great. If you want to have visitors, eyeballs on your page, you got to pay for it.
No, it seems sometimes to me, though, that there's just this luck of the draw, right? Like I'm on Facebook and there's a video and it's stupid. And I look at the comments so I can comment, this is stupid. And, 20 million people have already said it's stupid. And then that person is now a star, on social media. And then I see other people that have great content, something that's worthwhile, and they've got 6 likes. So talk to us a little bit about the analytics and things that absolutely work in post all the time.
Yeah, great question. So that's frustrating. And so one of those things, if you sing, if you dance, if you're taking off your clothes, whatever, people are going to like your post. But
this show can go anywhere at any time.
If you're a business owner talking about your product and your service, it's not these beautiful, exciting thing. So, I feel like those kind of people kind of, what's the word? They kind of cheapen social media. So we all see that. We want to aspire to have 1 million followers and 500,000 likes, but that's not real. So for a small business, you want to build a good following, good network, and you don't post on a repeated basis. I always say people give up too soon with social media, with marketing, with working out, with anything.
Right.
So 3 months is not enough. Even 6 not enough.
Really?
You might have to go 12 months or more to really see results. So that's one thing. Be consistent. And like I said, find out what works for your business. A good way to your competition. If you see they have a video about a certain topic, don't copy it, but do something like that so you can kind of garner some of that same results.
Okay, that's great advice. Now, for people, again, that are like me, I'm trying to implement your guide. We're going to work on that. I'm working with that with Carrie O'Connell, who's my social media person right now. And I think, we're doing this ground level. She's a friend, a fellow educator. So we're just kind of tackling this because help me out kind of thing. It's not, I mean, she's got a full-time job. But for people that need extra help, how do they get in contact with you? And when they do that, tell us specifically what the services would look like. Is it a la carte? Do you do from little all the way up? Walk us through that.
Okay, so my website is getfoundmore.com.
That's simple. Get found more. Right.
So if you go there, there's a tab that says store. Click that. You can buy a copy of the workbook. If you want to engage me for services, we can sit down and meet and talk about really what you want to achieve. And once you have an idea of your goals, then we can lay out kind of a game plan. So, social media and not just kind of one size fit all thing. So it's kind of hard to give a price like, boom, this is $300 because every client needs something a little bit different.
Right, because you're approaching a different a pizzeria, needs to be engaged with their clients in a different way, right? Sales and coupons and whatever than an attorney does. Absolutely.
Right.
So it is kind of curtailed to that specific business.
Exactly.
And then you're saying that you would enter a contract with a small business and work with them for at least 3 to 6 months because otherwise you're not going to see the real results.
Yeah, you have to keep doing it. If you do it for a few weeks and stop, you're not going to see results. So it has to be ongoing.
Tell us about some of your success stories that you've worked with or clients that you've worked with, how you were able to get them from A to B.
Right. So I worked with the immigration lawyer about 4 years ago. And when I met him, he had a website that, wasn't the best. So What we did, we redesigned his website completely. New pictures, better content. You know, it looks good on the mobile phone.
Right.
In the last 2 to 3 years, he really made a big dent on Facebook.
Okay.
So, you know, once again, it's something that first that he ignored. He didn't see, oh, who cares about what I do? But,
right.
you know, a lot of his leads and phone calls, people come to him through Facebook now.
Wow.
So I have a lot of those stories. I have another client who has a Mexican restaurant. And, you know, I'm getting him now on Instagram. And, of course, Instagram is very visual, pictures of the food, pictures of the restaurant. So it really works. You have to do it the right way. You have to find out what works for your company. And like I said, do it consistently. Yeah. And, you know, like I said before, have a goal in mind. So if you want phone calls, we need to do one thing.
Right.
If
do it that way.
You want likes, we'll do something else. So.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to have you back because I'd like to, you know, get a plan together where you and I can work together, and then we'll have you back in 6 months, and then I can say, remember this day when Sterling was here, and we had two viewers, and now look at us now. Watch us work. So we'll make sure that people can get in touch with you, and it's getfoundmore.com. The immigration lawyer, I'm not going to, you know, take this from you. I think he did grow, but I think Donald Trump helped his business also. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. But you did a good job too. But you and Donald got that man busy as hell, just busy. All right. Anyway, this is 36 Nation Radio. We'll be right back. We'll be joined on the phone by my biohacking friend, Jessica Perez. We'll be right back. Thanks.
How many people here have a website for their company? Okay, pretty much everybody, that's good. How many of you is the website really working for? I mean, you really get a steady stream of leads and phone calls from the website. Okay, not so many, all right? So you're in the right place. So today, we're gonna talk about how you can really make the web work for your business and increase sales. You see on the screen here, these 3 faces. These people are your customers. No matter what you do, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're an accountant. These people are the lifeblood in your business. And more people are looking online to find you, okay? So everything you do online has to be about your customers. It has to be customer focused and customer centric to pull them in. So I'll tell you a story. About 3 years ago, I met a lawyer, and he came to me and said, I paid somebody a few $100s to make a website for me. It had very crappy content. It had very cheesy, you know, business clip art. And he said, it's not working for me. You know, I get no leads, no phone calls. Can you help me? And I said, yes, I can work miracles. Okay, so in a sense, his website was antisocial. His website and web presence was antisocial. And what I mean by that is it didn't speak to people's needs, to their wants. It wasn't client focused. When somebody goes online or goes to your website, it should be like they're looking at a mirror. They're seeing their need. They're seeing you offer a solution, and they're going to call you for service. How many people here have a website for their company?
After this one, Jacob?
Thought about launching a broadcasting career? Think you have what it takes to become a broadcasting professional? Learn the skills that will make people want to tune in.
Yep.
Join Monica Livingston, radio personality, and owner of 36 Nation, for a career development workshop on what it takes to be a radio DJ, sportscaster, and news anchor. Find out how the former DC diva and owner of 36 Nation manages her own live internet radio show. Sign up for a workshop today, where Monica doesn't just share broadcasting tools. She puts you on the air.
Is that what I do? Who knew? It's right. You don't even know. Woo! All right, 368. We are back. I have my friend, fellow Positive Coaching Alliance trainer on the phone. JP, are you there?
Yes, I am, Monica.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Staying busy. You know how I am, always on the run. Tell me about the weather in Florida right now, just to make me upset.
About 84 today, 85. The sun shining. Yeah. Sorry, but not so. Sorry.
Well, it's pouring down rain here. It's terrible weather. It's humid and all of that. So I truly wish I was with you. That's for sure. I'm gonna have to make that trip happen soon. But listen, thank you for joining us today. You are here, you do a lot of speaking stuff, and you're out there also with me on the Positive Coaching Alliance, tour, the world tour, trying to change youth sports and make sure young people have a great, positive youth sports experience. But you're also doing some other stuff, and we keep throwing this word around, biohacking. So tell the listeners what that means and what you're doing with biohacking. It sounds, a little disturbing. I'm just going to be honest with you. So,
hey, I love that. And, someone who's played sports, you've actually hacked your body in ways that most people don't even understand. So let's talk about how you can biohack it and get it back into alignment and in better space. That's really what biohacking is. So I love the question. I love talking about it. I could talk all day long. But honestly, if you just look at what the definition of biohacking is, it's literally just taking control of a real complex system, like your body, your biology, and really just hacking it, shifting it, doing some different things to achieve a better outcome. That's really what it is. So like better sleep, better recovery, and better energy. Like who doesn't want those three things? I mean, Those are basic things that as we age, and yeah, Monica, we're getting older.
I know.
So I'm an athlete just like you, So multi-sport athlete here. I know I'm only 4'11". You could probably knock me down a few notches. But
listen, you're one of the few. Listen, Jessica, you're one of the few people I'm taller than, so I can't say anything about how tall you are. So, right?
Exactly. Hey, I said it today. I just did a workshop, and I'm 4'11". I pulled up this 6'5" kid, and he's like, well, I go, look, I can take you down at the knees, buddy. Just you sit down and let's have a conversation. He's like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So back to biohacking. So biohacking literally is that. It's really shifting the body in ways that we can do it naturally. And a lot of people don't even understand what that means. So when we talk about better sleep, better energy, better recovery, it all comes from utilizing natural products. And I came across this about 6.5 years ago.
Okay.
I was, in my own world. I was working for the government. I thought I had everything figured out. A Parks and Rec professional. I'm going to be the next director. Woo-hoo-hoo. Well, yeah, that didn't work out so well for me. So today, what I'm excited about is the fact that there's some natural products that really shifted my world and my life as far as a health. Like, think about your health span. Not just where you are today, but where do you want to be? Like, the longevity of your life, the idea of what health can be in your future.
Okay.
Because a lot of times as we age, we think it's going to go backwards, right? We always think that we're aging, so we're going to get more tired and all those things. Well, we're using something in a science. I'm a part of a company that uses science-backed information like nutrigenomics, another big word. Yeah, I know. You sitting down?
Yeah, I'm
nutrigenomics.
Down. Okay, all right. Okay.
Okay.
You hacking and
okay. So
nutrigenomics,
exactly. Exactly. So what that does is they're products. Okay, so think about this. Natural products that actually work at the cellular level to reduce the aging process. Comprised of herbs, like things like turmeric. You've heard of that. Green tea and milk thistle. I mean, basic herbs combined in a synergistic place, like one pill, that can actually shift what your body is doing. The alignment, the cellular repair, recovery, all of that in a natural form. I mean, it's just kind of breaking some really cool lines and thought process about health and wellness today. And why is that so powerful is that we have science behind it. Like, Harvard, LSU, Ohio State.
Right.
I mean, some major universities, had put their name and their thumbprint on the science that the company that I represent and I'm part of is just like massive information regarding the biochemistry and the health of a body utilizing natural stuff. So it's exciting. It's neat to be a part of a company that's kind of groundbreaking.
So it's basically different products that you can, I guess, put on you, like topical products that you can also ingest. So they're edible. Okay. So let me ask you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So now why can't people just smoke weed?
It's mostly edible.
Why can't people just smoke weed? It's natural. Right? Like, what's
Girl, you could, but it depends on what state you're in.
This
depends
is very
on what
true.
State.
I'm just messing with you. I don't even partake, but I heard natural.
I love it. Yeah, exactly. So for me, we're in Florida. We're a little slower down here.
Right.
Colorado, now, Colorado got it all going on. So for us, we're looking at things like this because there's science behind it. I got to be honest with you, my friend. Science behind anything can kind of really shift people's mindsets. Like when you got cardiologists saying, ooh, let me pay attention.
Right.
That's like big stuff.
Right.
Now,
Now,
so I'm in a space with thinking about that long term for me and family and friends and people like yourself, man, that we know.
It sounds great, but talk to me about this. What's the name of the company? And talk to me about some of the products. Are they lotions, vitamins? Walk us through a little bit of that.
For sure. We look at the holistic part of the body. So it's not just like one thing fix all. I don't think that there should be any one pill fix all. Now you're going to be, woo, I'm amazing, right?
Right.
So it really is a holistic approach to health. So a couple things. You got to get your gut healthy, right? So we have an amazing probiotic, okay? The name of the company is called LifeVantage.
Okay.
It's actually publicly traded. You can buy stock if you wanted to, which is pretty cool. And there's an ABC primetime report done on the company that showcases everything that we're talking about. Exactly. So you want that information, I can certainly share it with your viewers and all that kind of stuff. They can find me. But the idea is to start at the gut health, right? So we're going to start at two places. Cellular, at the very base and root cause of disease, which is oxidative stress. You're going to say, what the heck does that mean, Jess? But if we can do it simple like this, take an apple, cut it in half.
Okay.
Leave it on the counter. What happens? Turns brown, right?
Brown, yeah.
That's absolutely turns brown. What happens when you and I breathe? The same junk is happening to us. We're aging internally and rusting inside. Our products actually reduce that process on average of 40% in a 30-day period. Legal statement, good stuff, I can say that. That's the good stuff, okay?
Right.
So when we say things like that, people go, you crazy girl, you're crazy.
Right.
I'm like, okay, well, let's just go to, PubMed.gov, which is a National Institute of Health. I mean, that's where you find all research studies. And I go, we got 24 studies on what our products can do. That's big stuff.
Right.
So for me, it's science-based. It starts at the gut, and then it goes into the cells. And so what we do is our products, it's like 2 pills. One works at the mitochondrial level, turning your body and your system up, regulating all your energy. Because as you and I get older, we lose energy. It's just a common fact.
That happens.
And now it's revving the engines up, and it's getting you energized. While it's getting energized, our signature product, the first one that came out back in 2003, so it's been around for a while, that product repairs the cells. So it's fixing the cells and generating your body to create its own, are you ready for this, antioxidants. Like your body will produce them.
Okay, so
instead of supplementing, we produce them.
Let me ask you this.
Huge.
If I take this stuff,
yes, ma'am,
swallow it, rub it on me and everything, do I still have to exercise?
Oh, you take this stuff, here's what's going to happen with you, okay? How old are you? Do you mind me asking?
Yeah, I can't remember. I've lied so much. That's between 45 and 47. I got confused.
All right.
Right.
You got it. Okay. The reason why I ask, all right, it took you 45, 47 years to get your body doing what it's doing, right? Good, bad, or indifferent.
It took me 3 years to get it a mess, right? Right. But yes.
Okay. So because of that, I'm going to tell you what you need to do is you need to be on the products. You got to let them work at your cellular level. It's not going to be overnight, okay?
Okay.
So once you get the stuff in your system, you got to let it work at least for every decade you're alive. You got to let it be in your body doing what it's doing to start reversing all the bad stuff we've been doing, okay? So, okay, I'll put it out there. I just turned 50. I know I don't look it. You can say it. You got my picture up, right?
I listen.
You got my picture
I'm
up?
going to tell you something. Them products
Okay,
working
come on,
for
girl.
you, girl. Okay. Right.
That's what I'm talking about. So as your body is repairing itself, it's turning back those spots and it's turning that stuff back. And what's happening is I need to be on it, if I just started today, at least 4 to 5 months. You know what I'm saying? To allow my body to kind of do the repair and recovery that I've been doing for so many years, the bad stuff, okay?
Right.
Because it does. It works at the cellular level. So I say that to folks so that they understand it's not a fix-it pill. I'm not in here to tell you, woo, that's not who I am or what we do.
Right.
Why am I a part of it? Because you know me. I am an educator at heart. It's why we do PCA.
That's right.
Right? We are Positive Coaching Alliance because we're in the business, you and myself, we're in the business of educating people on what's out there. I know youth sports is at a crisis, and I also know health is at a crisis. So that's why I'm doing these two platforms, and I'm doing them at the same time. Because to me, the more people we can educate on where their health and wellness is, as well as the plight, I'm going to use that big word, plight, youth sports is, then I'm going to continue to be passionate about these two missions and pushing them forward.
Oh, that's awesome.
I just appreciate you giving me the opportunity to chat.
Hey,
for sure.
listen, Jessica,
I really appreciate it.
We're running out of time, but I will tell you two things. One, what I'm going to do, I'm looking at your picture. Yes, we have it on screen. You do not look 50 at all. So, yes, the products look like they are working. I'm gonna have to get some of these products from you, girl, and then I'm going to have you back on the show 6 months from now when I have Sterling back on, and I should look like a completely different host. Sterling gonna come in here and be like, "Where's Monica?" And I'm gonna look like Monica's daughter in here, right? If I use these products, right? But tell people how they can get in contact with you. Tell people how they can get in contact with you.
Well, you just listen to social media, dude. So first of all, I am on Facebook. I love Facebook, and that is my business card. So Jessica Perez on Facebook, Perez. Or I do have a website. It's jpcoachingandlife.com. You can find me there, too. It'll redirect you back to Facebook because I got to tell you, Facebook is the wave of the future, and I love what Sterling was talking about. So thanks for having him on. I had some folks on here that are messaging me going, man, I'm taking all kind of tips. So thanks, Sterling. I appreciate it. It was great listening to Mr. Fireman, too. That was good stuff. He's got great guests. So thank you again.
Thank you for saying that, Sterling. I'm expecting a discount. See, these people shouting you out and got you some business. I heard you talking to Jonathan. So, yeah, we talking all right after this. All right. Jessica, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure I will see you soon. If not, I know I'll see you in Cali.
Yes, ma'am.
For our Trainer Institute. But let's keep talking. I'm gonna take the dive. So, let's talk about which product
That's what I'm talking about.
I can start off with. Something for my face is where we should start, but I'll holler at you offline, okay? Be safe. Thanks again.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Okay, you too. Thank you so much. Okay.
All right,
bye-bye.
take care. Bye. So, I'm gonna try it and see what happens. Jacob, you think I'll be looking as young as you? Thank you. You hesitated a little damn too much there, Jacob. That took you a while. What's wrong? What is wrong? What is wrong with him? Okay. Gosh, I need to give him some tips. So Billy Graham died. Oh, so I just wanted to put that out there because I posted on Facebook that Billy Graham got his wings. And I got all kind of responses. I mean, Kevin, who's in the building, said, what, his chicken wings? I was like, so here's the thing. Right? Anthony wanted to know what color they were. I mean, so Billy had some struggles. What I would say when I put that up, and so this is a conversation we will continue on Facebook, is why I'm bringing it up now. Did he do more good than bad? Does it matter that, of course, he was caught up in saying some racist things? But I grew up, as you guys have talked about before, I went to a small private Christian school, and so Billy Graham literally was like God. Like the curriculum was based on, if Billy Graham came to anywhere in town to speak, it was like mandatory field trip. And so for many years in the very beginning, I thought he was a good guy. And then the controversy came, but controversy comes through all of us, right? So let's finish the conversation on Facebook. Weigh in. I already posted it. It's under Monica D. Livingston. You'll see the chicken wings flying. I want to know what color you think his wings are, if he got chicken wings, and where Billy is right now. So let's talk about Mr. Graham on Facebook. Jacob, let's take a quick break, and then I think we're done, right? We're done. We don't have to take a break. So this is 36 Nation. Thank you guys for listening, watching. Hit me up on all the social media platforms. Don't go anywhere. You better stay exactly where you are, because it is time for Thursday Night Tea with... That's right, Thursday Night Tea with Anthony, right? We'll be right back. Thanks, guys. See you next week.